Hi, and welcome to another Reach Higher Thursdays. I'm Nikki Devitt, president of the Petoskey Regional Chamber of Commerce. And now I am joined by Lauren Dye, who is the Watershed Management Coordinator for the Tip of the Mitt Watershed Council. Lauren, thank you so much for having some time for us today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So we want to start off, where did you go to school and what kind of background do you have beyond your high school?
So I graduated from Harbor Springs High School. And then right from there, I attended Lake Superior State University, where I got my bachelor's degree in conservation biology. And after graduating, I had a few jobs, not related to my degree, but after a few years, I was able to get back into it, working for the tribe for about 6 years. And now I work for Tip of the Mitt.
Fantastic. So in working for Tip of the Mitt as the Watershed Management Coordinator, what does a typical workday look like for you?
Typical workday for me is usually involves meetings. I have at least one meeting a day, or possibly a training or a webinar. I'm always writing something for some project, whether that be a grant proposal, a management plan, helping write technical reports, and of course, lots of emails. And usually on any given day, I'm working on from 1 to 3 projects, at a time. So there's usually a lot of projects that are in the works.
And I'm assuming too that, the next question when we're talking about skills that are in your job, I would assume when we're talking something like Watershed, it's not just the ability to do the, technical work that needs to be done, but I think you probably also get outside once in a while.
I do. That's definitely a perk.
That's a fantastic perk. So what skills do you think are the most important for what you do?
So for my job, while I do get outside, which is probably the best part, I do obviously do a lot of indoor stuff at the computer. So largely for my job, what I feel like is the most important skill to have is really good communication skills. So that's being able to organize meetings, facilitate meetings, be able to work with partners. So there's a lot of partner collaboration, and also public speaking, which is not always everyone's cup of tea. But it is very valuable to be able to have that skill and be able to share information with people. I also believe that time management and teamwork skills are like a huge thing, and I know that these are kind of broad and apply to just about any career you have. I think that are very valuable in being able to achieve your goals and actually produce good work. As it relates to my field specifically, I believe that GIS is a really important skill to have when you're going into the natural resource field. It was really just kind of starting to come out as a tool when I was in college, and now it's very widely used, and certainly something that I think is a skill that everyone should have if they want to go into this field. As well as grant writing, which will it's something that you can tend to develop through your work. If there's ever an opportunity to try to develop those skills, that would be very valuable as well. And then another small one that I think is specifically important for this field is learning how to trailer things, like learning how to back a boat up, or be able to drive your kayaks around. It's one of those skills that if you have the opportunity to practice, before you actually have to do this professionally, I think it's definitely a good one to have.
I like that. You don't want to learn that one on the job as much if you don't have to.
Exactly, because it can be a little embarrassing.
It can be embarrassing and a little bit nerve-wracking too at the same time. So aside from the fact, when we're talking Tip of the Mitt Watershed Council and the career that you have, aside from the fact we're having a passion for the natural resources, if a student wants to pursue a career like yours, what advice would you give them?
The best advice I would have would be to volunteer. So I feel like the natural resource field has a lot of opportunities for people to actually get involved and volunteer. I know that we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. The Conservancy has a lot of volunteer opportunities. Or a lot of other places like the tribe, like if you're ever interested in actually helping out or like getting some hands-on experience or seeing what they're actually doing out in the field, I would highly encourage that. Largely because that's what's going to help you figure out what your likes and dislikes are. And the natural resource field is so much broader, I think, than what people realize. I think it's really important to, when you have that opportunity to, kind of delve in a little bit deeper to a certain career or job, that you take that opportunity. And then, of course, it always looks good on a resume to be able to have those experiences on there as well. But really, I think it's important to really develop or figure out which, kind of direction you want to go in this field. And then my next piece of advice would be to really research the school. Like, so if you're going to go on to a secondary education, I highly recommend that you research the school that you're going to and make sure that it's actually going to meet, your wants and desires for what you want to get out of that, your education, and how you think that might help you in the future.
That's fantastic. And I'm assuming too, because we're going to put your contact information here at the end. If students have any questions, whether that be, maybe it's advice on finding out if they're looking for a natural career or natural resource career, what's a good recommendation for a school, but really too, if they're looking to get involved, I'm sure that you would be more than happy to help make those volunteer opportunities happen.
Absolutely.
I thought so. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. We really appreciate you taking the time today. Very good information, and it was lovely to see you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.